external resources. So there are a couple external resources you can configure in dotCMS. I think I've talked about all of them briefly. The first one is the Redis cache provider. This is an external cache that you can use instead of or in conjunction with the built-in caching. Redis is a pretty powerful tool. You can set up a Redis server that's dedicated and have your administrator who is trained in Redis who can optimize it and tweak it, and then it makes management of your performance layer a lot more fine-grained. So that's a pretty useful approach to it. The next one is the external Elasticsearch. So actually, it's not the right link anymore. There we go. So you can actually turn off the built-in Elasticsearch and instead use an external Elasticsearch, which again, you can throw it on beefier hardware. You can have a dedicated administrator who specializes in Elasticsearch, who can optimize it and do all of the tweaking that you want. And it also will allow you to integrate information from dotCMS into other applications and get reporting and all those sorts of good stuff out of it. So that's pretty useful to have available. On the single sign-in front, we can integrate with CAS, the CAS system. LDAP we already talked about a little bit. I mentioned both OAuth and actually found the links to the OAuth implementation that we have. And this is a dynamic plugin. So we provide the skeleton of it, and you would need to fill out the details of your specific implementation, and then deploy it as you would any other static plugin through our, the command line deploy plugins methodology. And then the next one is, as I mentioned before, the SAML plugin. This looks like it's the old one, so we want the SAML 3 plugin. So this is being used even if you're connecting to something like an Active Directory. A lot of environments are finding the SAML approach to be more manageable and easier to deal with than using the traditional LDAP connector that we use. So yeah, this is a pretty popular request for implementation in a lot of our customer environments. And those are the external resources that you could configure along with dotCMS. And those are the sorts of things where if you're wanting to do that, you can engage with our professional services department, and they will help you get it set up and configured for your particular environment.